Adam Murphy spoke with his daughter today. Adam is live along Jimmy Carter Boulevard in Gwinnett County, where that bus passed some frightened drivers. Adam.
Good afternoon, Blair. The daughter of Ernest Byrd Jr. told me over the phone today he was the ultimate family man, and he boarded that bus in downtown Atlanta. He was leaving work, was headed home to here in Gwinnett County when the bus was hijacked, and he was held hostage. And even during the incident, he was shot. Now, 58-year-old Byrd was found suffering from that gunshot wound when police finally stopped the Gwinnett County Transit bus on Hugh Howell Road, and he died at the hospital on Tuesday. His daughter told me he was a Mason, engaged to be married, and loved his family unconditionally. Family also said they acknowledge the complexities of mental illness and the importance of compassion. They go on to say, however, more details are needed to fully comprehend the nature of this tragedy. And the family also released this statement, which says in part, "We are deeply saddened by the tragic loss of our beloved husband, father, friend, uncle, and grandfather. He was a man known for his unwavering dedication to resolving conflicts and protecting others," end quote. Lastly, the family said that they continue to urge everyone to refrain from judgment and have respect for all of those involved in this terrible incident until we learn more about what happened. But a very difficult time for the Byrd family. Live in Gwinnett County, Adam Murphy, Atlanta News First.